Hello, I'm Hollis.
I'm Phil.
I'm Maisie.
I'm Hannah, and we're pupils from Fishermoor in the heart of Pendle.
So, let's take a look inside. To talk about climate change. God gave us the responsibility of being a steward of the earth, and we need to take action now.
The destruction of the climate affects the poorest of people and makes them even more vulnerable. This is a huge problem.
Welcome to our dining room. This is our recycle area, where all pupils take pride in recycling all their waste. Here we try our best to care for the world.
Here at Fishermoor, we have more than enough clean water every day, but because of climate change, people in different countries around the world make it very hard to have clean water.
Now let's take a trip up to Food Tech. Welcome to Food Tech. This is where we have the privilege of making our own food and learning about fair trade.
We have a whole lesson based on food that some countries don't even have.
We often acknowledge that we have easy access to food, and some farmers around the world struggle to grow crops because of climate change.
Did you know that 0.85% Celsius of the world's climate has increased? This is a major issue for some poor countries in the world. Oh.
Welcome to Geography.
Here we often learn about different countries around the world who are struggling because of climate change.
Here are linked schools that we keep in contact with regularly.
Oh look, a climate change poster.
Interviewing Callum, Year 10 Fishermoor, about CAFOD's new campaign for the love of.
So Callum, if climate change was to drastically affect your generation, what things would you miss most?
I would probably miss TV and watching documentaries, particularly on the Arctic.
Good idea, thanks Callum.
We are interviewing Charlotte from Year 11 about climate change.
So Charlotte, if climate change was going to affect your generation, what would you miss most?
I'd miss being able to go to skiing, and what would happen to the Winter Olympics?
Thanks, Charlotte.
Today we've got Emily and Thea from Fishermoor who are going to give their views on climate change.
So, if climate change affected your generation, what things would you miss most?
Well, what I'd miss most is that not only would it affect other people, but it would affect the people I love, such as Emily. What would you miss, Emily?
If the ice caps melt, then all the penguins will have nowhere to go.
Oh, penguins, thank you.
Great ideas, girls, thank you.
Questions on climate change?
Sir,
Yeah.
what about climate change worries you most?
The unpredictability, because there are two schools of thought. One, that we're going to get warmer in this country. If we get warmer, malaria mosquitoes, we're going to move further north, so we might end up with malaria in this country. Or the other school of thought is that the ice caps melt, the Gulf Stream moves south, and we all freeze to death in Britain, which is good if you like skiing, but our indigenous species of animals could die out, which to me is a bit of a problem. On a worldwide scale, deforestation, people starving to death, Well, not enough food as it is. All the habitats dying out. Coral reefs wiped out. All it takes is 2 degree change in sea temperature and all the coral reefs die. That's bad. No problems at all. The worst thing about the whole thing about climate change is that it affects the people least able to deal with it. Because we burn all the fossil fuels, we have our lovely cars and we churn out, you know, power stations and that. And for us, small changes, we can deal with that. We can deal with changes because we're rich, so that's not an issue at all. But if you're living in, you know, sub-Saharan Africa and the climate changes, you haven't got the infrastructure to deal with what's coming. Yeah. And that is really bad because they can't actually deal with the situations that we're causing them. But neither should we preach to countries like China and say, oh well, you're developing now, you're churning out too much carbon dioxide. They're only doing what we did in this country 150, 200 years ago when we were going through our development. So, you know, it's a difficult one.
Climate change can cause a huge problem for many people.
Whoa. Whoa!
Whoa.
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 For the love of wildlife.
For the love of the poor. For the love of my family. For the love of chicken tikka and rice. Thank you for joining us on our discovery of lots of new and interesting things. We've realised it's going to be a struggle to make such a big change.
But we can ask for God's help and guidance through a short prayer.
Thank you, God, for the gift of creation and all its beauty.
Teach us how to be good stewards of creation so that everybody can enjoy its benefits. Amen.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.